Hello and welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. I talk about books and sometimes other things. So I did a video on Friday where I talked about the 3 books that I read in August. I talked about the books that I've picked up recently at the library. I talked about the readathon that I'm excited for, that completely Melanie. She does these season-a-thon readathons, and the Fall into Reading 2021 is coming up, and I talked about that, and I talked about the prompts, and of course, did I mention the unboxing that didn't go quite as well as I had hoped? I might just leave that in because, comic relief. Everybody needs some. So without further ado, let's get started with my second attempt at making something happen here that's going to make sense. I read 3 books in August. I read 14 in July, and then August I went back to work on the 16th, and I just could not focus on a whole hell of a lot. So the first couple of weeks of August, I wasn't working, so I actually got a couple of books in. The first book that I got in was Claimed by J.R. Ward. You all know that I'm trash for this author. I'm everything that she writes, whether it's fantasy based or not, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's vampires, werewolves, angels, firefighters. And then she wrote something for a family down south, the Bourbon King series. Anyways, I like that. Maybe, just maybe I should just create a video where I just talk about J.R. Ward. Should I? Shouldn't I? I think I'm going to, whether people want it or not. It's going to happen. So this book is a spinoff of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It is woven. When she did the spinoff for the prisoners, she did give us someone who I believe might be half woven. So I'm excited that when she did that spinoff for the Black Dagger Brotherhood, we got a little taste of what a woven character might be like. So this was a slow burn. I gave it 4.5 blossoms. It didn't take anything away from it. There was a lot of glances. There were some flirtiness happening. There's just some intensity between the 2 characters. I really was hot kisses and alpha male and insta love, and I wanted that, but that's not what I got. I got one hot kiss almost halfway through, and then eventually they do the thing. I really like the way that this is building into what's going to happen with the storyline, and I'm curious to find out, hopefully throughout the series, why the woven and the vampire don't think too highly of each other. So that is something that I'm curious about, and I cannot wait for the next book. I have to, because it's not coming out until next summer, but that's okay. I have the prison spinoff, the next book for that, coming out in November, and then we have a new Black Dagger Brotherhood coming out in April. So I'll have plenty of JR to keep me occupied. Also, she writes under another pen name, so I should probably pick up some of those because I've never read anything by her under her other pen name. So that'll be interesting. So I have things to fill my time until the next book. But this was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked the characters. So the next book that I read, the second book, was Fresh by Margot Wood. I enjoyed this book so much. It is Margot's debut book, and I was so excited because I have been watching her when she did epic reads way back in the day, and then she left, and I still followed her on other social media. And then when I found out that she was writing a book, I was so excited. She said that the character was going to break the 3rd plane, which is basically in the movies when the character just turns to the screen and talks to the watchers. That's what this book does. And I enjoyed it because it made it feel a little bit more immersive. I found that the character Elliot in this book had some similarities to humor that I see in Margot a lot when she does or says things. I kind of heard her voice as I was reading Elliot's words. So in this book, we have Elliot, who is going away to college for the very first time. She's away from home, and she's got it in her head that she's going to skate through that first year, take some easy peasy classes. Of course, she does it based on the name of the class, not actually looking at the synopsis. Elliot. She also thinks that she's just going to party hardy, meet some guys, meet some gals, get some sex. That's what she's planning.
Freshman year is like one big sexual pop quiz. You need to do your homework.
Not everything goes as planned, but there you go. There is a trigger warning for sexual assault. I personally felt that the way that Elliot chose to handle it in the book was very similar to a situation that I was in, so I related to it. Even though Elliot is immature and annoying at times, she did grow. She had character growth eventually, and I think that is what happens when you go off to college. You become who you're supposed to become. You make mistakes, you fall on your face, you get back up, you try other things, you find yourself, and that is part of being, away from home. I gave it 4.75 blossoms. I know that's a weird number, but it's so close to 5. But there we go. It was a really good debut novel, in my opinion, for me. I hope that Margot continues to write books, and I hope that some of her humor continues to come out in her characters, because I enjoyed that so much, and I'm so happy for her. And I hope more people read this book, because I think that it's really enjoyable. It was a fun read. I'm not looking for anything deep when I pick up a book all the time. Sometimes I want something fun and enjoyable, and I will probably remember Elliot's character for quite a while, so that's a good thing. The third book that I picked up was Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. I had picked up Broken in the Best Possible Way a couple months ago, and I couldn't get through it because I couldn't focus at that time. So again, while I was waiting for the audiobook to become available on the cloud library through my state library, this popped up as available, and I went ahead and I grabbed it and listened to it. And I could relate so much to Jenny's issues with anxiety, depression, and all that. And it just felt good to read something that was put together in sort of with humor and laughing at yourself, and not taking things too seriously, because that just takes you into some deep dark. My husband and her husband would probably be, buddies hanging out and consoling each other because of their wives. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I gave that book 5 blossoms. Let's see. I also stopped at the library.
The library, darling. Because reading is what? Fundamental.
I was passing by and I said, I'm having a kind of a reading slump and I need some help. And my librarian was happy to assist me with that. I told her I need something kind of light and maybe some romancy. And she said, I just got this. Hang the Moon by Alexandria or Bellefleur. She said that it would probably do just the thing that I needed. So we've got some adult romance, hopefully lighthearted enough to get me out of my slump. And that's what I'm hoping. And then while I was in there, I said, you know what? I'm going to grab one more book, because if that doesn't do it, I know that Nora Roberts does. And I knew that the library had her new book, The Awakening. It is the first in the Dragon Heart Legacies, and it's book 1. And I see that there's a big city, so that tells me that she's going to do that contemporary thing that segues into sort of like a dimension of fantasy, and I'm looking forward to it. I've read a little bit of the blurb, not the whole thing. I don't want to be spoiled for anything, so I'm not going to read anymore. I'm just going to read the book, and I'm looking forward to it. Nora Roberts is known for writing sort of that magical sort of element in her books. I do like her books that have the magic in them quite a bit, and usually it's fae magic type stuff. She has other books. She has like the Bridal Quartet, and that's not magic. This happens to be one with magic, so I'm looking forward to this. As I mentioned before, the season-a-thon is happening once again. There is a season. This time it's the Fall into Reading 2021. Completely Melanie puts this together. I love Mel's readathons. They're really, really fun. They're very interactive, and she does them with other people. And she also gets authors for the group book to come and talk with us and chat with us, and that's really, really cool. Let's see. All the details. I'll give you all the details. She is doing this season-a-thon with Clinton Reads Readers. She is doing it also with Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me. And they all did their announcement videos. It was really fun to do when they premiered them, to bounce from video to video as they were being announced, and chatting with them as their video was being played. And it was really, really fun. It was very interactive, and I love that. And I'm really looking forward to doing this readathon. I really am. I'm hoping to fit all these books in because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So the readathon is happening September 20th to the 26th. On September 25th, there's going to be an after-hours show on Mel's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then on September 26th, they're going to talk to the author. There's going to be an author chat also on Mel's channel at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here are the 6 prompts. Number 1. I have my prompts over here, so if I'm looking away, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading the prompts. So prompt number 1, school's in session. Read the group book or buddy read a book. So you can do one or the other. I've decided to go ahead and read the group book. It's called Perfect on Paper, and then of course they're going to be doing the author chat with Sophie Gonzales. I've never read anything by this author, so I'm looking forward to this very much. Let's see. Number 2, online learning. Read an ebook or listen to an audiobook. Again, I'm going to use Perfect on Paper for this because it's an ebook. That is the format that I'm going to be using. Prompt number 3, Friday Night Lights. This is to read a book involving a competition. Could be a contest, it could be a game, it could be sports, it could be just a tournament, anything like that. Just something where there's some sort of competition. I have no idea what book is going to fit this prompt, but I'm hoping one of these books will. So that brings me to prompt number 4. Who wants candy corn? Read a book that is orange, white, or yellow on the cover, or all 3. So I'm choosing Perfect on Paper because Perfect on Paper happens to be orange. So that fits that prompt. Yay, I love being able to combine things. But so could the book that I'm reading for prompt number 5. Prompt number 5, pumpkin spice lattes and apple picking. Read a book with fruit or beverage on the cover. So, or the title. So I'm going to read The Tea Dragon Festival. This is the 2nd book in the Tea Dragon series. I love these books. I have not read this one yet. I read the first one. I love the illustrations most of all. So they're really, really fun. I'm hoping that there'll be some sort of contest or competition or game or something happening at the festival, and that will hit, prompt number 3. Maybe? I don't know. So now we're at prompt number 6. Beneath the Harvest Moon. Channel your inner beast and read something paranormal. Now I thought, I'm going to have to read something short from my Kindle app because I have a lot of paranormal type stuff in there. But no, I realized that there was something that I did have. I have a lot of love for this author, and that's Patricia Briggs. And I love the Mercy Thompson series. I own almost all of the books so far. I get them in soft cover, so that means I have a little bit more room on my shelves because I've had everything in hardcover, whatever. Anyways, I am going to read Mercy Thompson Homecoming. It's a graphic novel. It's been on my shelf for quite some time, so I'm really looking forward to getting it read. So I'm so glad that it fits one of these prompts, and excited. I'm very, very excited. Those are the 6 prompts. I got through them all. All right, so then they had the unboxing, which I will share right now. And then I got book mail. So I'm going to open it. Try the other side. That's badass. It doesn't want to cooperate. That just makes me mad. I'm just going to put all my anger and frustration into tearing this box apart. I don't. Why? Why don't you want to open for me? Huh? You're going to... It's Patricia Briggs. See, I wait till these come out in soft cover because that's all I have room for, because the series is massive at this point. Smoke Bitten, the new Mercy Thompson. That's right. Ring a bell? Because graphic novel, this one. So I realized I didn't have it yet, realized it was out, realized there was another one that was out in hardcover, and I don't like to fall too far behind in my series. So yeah, pre-ordered that when I pre-ordered the J.R. Wards. Can't stop me. I'm a monster. So as you saw, that was this book right here. I can't remember what number it is in the series, but I'm loving everything that is Mercy, and I like the character very, very much. She's kind of a badass, and so I'm looking forward to reading that at some point. Maybe not this month, maybe next month. Maybe next month. I'll save it for next month, so because I have to get through all of these first. But anyways, that's it. Those are the books that I read, the readathon. Those are the books that I plan to read for the month. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, happy reading, everybody. Like, subscribe. If you want to see more of my face, hit the bell icon. You'll be notified when I do post a sporadic once a month video, at least. Sometimes it's twice. Sometimes. Very rarely 3. But always at least 1. At least 1. I go for 1 because that, to me, is attainable. So until next time, happy reading, everybody. I hope you enjoy some really great books.